Welcome to this explainer. If you've been feeling completely burned out recently, like the very idea of making small talk literally makes you want to fake a power outage, or you've noticed yourself kind of quietly pulling away from others, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to unpack the psychology behind this quiet shift and look at exactly how to turn all that exhaustion into unshakable confidence.
So why do we suddenly lose interest in people? Let's dive into this super relatable feeling where you just quietly stop reaching out. You know what I mean? Conversations start to feel incredibly forced, and suddenly you crave solitude more than anything else. It's an unsettling shift, right? It's not dramatic. There's no loud declaration of "I hate everyone." It's really just a quiet, almost unnoticeable fade.
Which brings us to Section 1, the shift toward privacy.
We're starting right at the tip of the iceberg here with the visible signs of withdrawal. When people suddenly become guarded, delaying replies, finding comfort in silence, observing way more than they speak, the outside world almost always assumes they become cold or arrogant. But psychology actually paints a totally different picture. This quiet shift, it's usually just a sign of emotional maturity. You're simply learning to set boundaries and value your own peace over constant attention.
But here's the crucial point. You have to ask yourself a really honest question. Is your withdrawal a healthy way to rest, protect your peace, and heal? Or are you actually just hiding away and staying stuck out of fear? Because resting helps you grow, while hiding absolutely keeps you trapped. And to figure out which one you're doing, we need to look at what's actually causing the exhaustion in the first place.
Let's get into Section 2, the root of exhaustion.
Let's move a bit below the surface here. This deep emotional exhaustion isn't just random, it's an adaptation. You might be pulling away simply because you are completely drained from emotional burnout. Always listening, always adjusting for everyone else. When you face repeated disappointment, your brain literally rewires itself to become more cautious. It's protective. Or, you might even just be outgrowing certain connections, where conversations that used to really excite you just start to feel kind of shallow.
And that leads us to the core issue driving so much of this social burnout, the totally exhausting habit of people-pleasing. We end up smearing our own boundaries, saying yes when we are completely drained, literally, just to feel accepted. But relying on other people to validate your worth? It's like trying to fill a bucket with a massive hole in it. No wonder you're tired.
So, how do we fix it? Section 3, defining true self-worth.
To escape this incredibly draining cycle, we really have to shift our focus from the outside in. Think about it. External validation is entirely reliant on your performance, right? It's all about what others think of your actions, and that is shaky ground because people might misunderstand you. But internal self-worth, that is your inner stability. It's an unshakable bedrock based purely on who you are and your own resilience, regardless of who is or isn't clapping for you.
I love to think of self-worth as a house that you live inside of. The windows, those are how you perceive the world. The doors are how you choose to interact with reality. But the foundation, that foundation must be strong enough to weather absolutely any unpredictable storm life throws at you. Because if your foundation is built on what your friends, your family, or your colleagues think of you, well, your house is going to collapse the second they get upset.
Which brings us to Section 4, 4 practices for self-worth.
Look, absolutely no one else is going to magically fix your foundation for you. So, we've got a proactive roadmap for you. These are 4 incredibly powerful, practical steps you can literally start taking today to stop seeking external validation and start firmly honoring your own needs. Let's break them down.
Step 1 is self-acceptance. And let's be totally clear here. Compassion doesn't mean forced, lovey-dovey, toxic positivity, where you just pretend to love every single flaw. Not at all. It simply means gently accepting your own traits with total neutrality. For example, if you know you have a tendency to occasionally be a bit arrogant, just accept it without getting defensive or ashamed. When you drop the judgment, it literally loses its emotional charge over you. It just makes you human.
Moving to step 2, you build self-trust by creating habits that actually feel good. This means caring enough about yourself to just say no when you're tired. It also means keeping small promises to yourself. Whether that's waking up just a tiny bit earlier to have some quiet time, or committing to going to the gym for literally just 5 minutes a day. The size of the action totally doesn't matter. What matters is proving your unconscious mind that you've got your own back.
Okay, step 3 is all about getting uncomfortable. Now, a quick caveat, if you are deeply burnt out and in pure survival mode right now, give yourself some grace and just rest. But if you do have the energy to move past surviving, taking tiny, uncomfortable steps like learning a weird new skill or attending a small social event is going to prove to your inner child that you are courageous. You prove to yourself that you are fully capable of handling the unknown.
And finally, step 4 brings us to this brilliant concept from Adlerian psychology called the separation of tasks. Listen closely to this one. Trying to manage other people's opinions of you is not your job. It is completely out of your control. What you do, what you say, your own personal integrity, that is your task. How someone else interprets it or reacts to it, that is entirely their task.
Think about it like this. Imagine putting a piece of art out into the world to exactly 100 people. 20 of them absolutely love it. 70 are totally indifferent. And 10, they hate it. You cannot control those reactions. If you exhaust yourself trying to please the 10 who hate it, you are going to lose yourself completely. Your only task is to maintain your boundaries and genuinely love what you made.
So I want to end this explainer with a question to really help you stop over-explaining yourself. Ask yourself right now, whose tasks are you carrying around? Are you still trying to control how everyone else perceives you? It's time to put down everyone else's emotional baggage and define your own worth. The ultimate question is this: are you going to keep building your house on the shifting sands of other people's opinions, or are you finally ready to build on stone?